tonight, on the eve of Tanis Esther, on the eve of the fast of Esther. We're going to speak tonight about Inyane Dioma, the Inyanim of Purim, to understand the depth of unmasking Purim. Because Hashem's name does not appear in the Megillah. He's hiding in the Megillah. That is why the minig is to wear costumes, to hide our true identity. Hashem is hiding, kiviyachol, in the Megillah. It's the only sefer of the 24 books of Tanakh where Hashem's name does not appear openly. Whenever the Megillah refers to Ha-Melech, the king, that's a reference to Hashem, to God. When it says Melech Achashverosh, that refers to Melech Achashverosh, the king Achashverosh. But when it says Ha-Melech alone, that's a reference, a hint to Hashem's name. But Hashem's name, Yud Kei Vav Kei, does not appear anywhere in Megillas Esther. One of the mitzvos of the Torah is called V'halachta bidrachav, to walk in God's ways, which means to emulate God. And the Gemara explains, how do you walk in God's ways? By acting like Him. As the Gemara in Shabbos, Kuf Lamed Gimel, says, page 133 says, Mahu rachum af ata heya rachum. Just as God is merciful, you should act with mercy. Mahu chanun, as He is empathic, you also, af ata heya chanun. You also act with chen, with graciousness, with nurturing, with sensitivity. Mahu kadosh af ata heya kadosh. As He is uplifted, so too you must uplift yourself. The Alter of Slobodka says that even though this is one of the 613 commandments, it is an all-pervasive mitzvah. It's a mitzvah which covers all of our lives. It's a all-encompassing, an expansive, all-inclusive mitzvah, which is the common theme of the Torah, which is to be like Hashem. In other words, he's saying to us, the Alter of Slobodka, the theme of his Torah, his Torah Sa'adam, of Gadlus Sa'adam, the greatness of man, is man can be great because we can be like God. How do we know that? Because God told us to be like Him. Ve'halachta bidrachav, and you shall walk in His ways, which means that He has confidence in us that we can be like Him. And this is called, in the words of the Alter of Slobodka, lehisdamos lekoinoi. The root word of lehisdamos is domeh. Lehit damot, to be like, to be similar to become like, kono, your acquirer, Hashem. So since the theme of Purim is hiding, that Hashem is hiding, we wear masks, we masquerade, we hide Hashem's name in the Megillah. I want to emulate God. I want to leizdamos lekoinoi in our series of Divrei Torah on Purim tonight. And I want to share with you a hidden challenge. I'm going to share with you 4 short Divrei Torah. And I'm going to stop at the end of each one and then restart the presentation with a different Dvar Torah. So there'll be 4 segments. Purim 1, called the Purim Challenge 1. It'll be less than 8 minutes. Purim Challenge 2, less than 8 minutes. Purim Challenge 3, less than 8 minutes. And Purim Challenge 4, less than 8 minutes. The Purim Challenge, or the Purim Puzzle. I'd like each of you to please take out a pen or your cell phone and a piece of paper. And during the segment of Purim 1, Purim 2, Purim 3, and Purim 4, write down one theme, one idea, one concept, which is the clear underlying theme of that idea of Torah, that idea of Purim, that concept of Purim. And then at the end of the 4th segment, I want you to think, what is the common denominator? What is the hidden message of all those four Divrei Torah, four mini messages of Purim, hiding within this message of Purim, which is the theme of Purim? And let's see if we can meet the challenge, if we can find the common denominator of Purim Challenge 1, 2, 3, and 4, put them all together, and I will then restart the video for part 5 and give the answer. So let's start with Purim Challenge 1. The main protagonist of the Megillah, of course, is Haman. Asks the Gemara the following question. Haman min ha-Torah minayin. Where can you find Haman's name in the Torah? How can that be possible? The Torah was given by Hashem on Mount Sinai in 1313 BCE, 1313 before the Common Era. And the Megillah happened around 500 BCE. So 800 years before the Megillah happened, the Torah was given. So how can the Gemara ask the question, where is Haman's name in the Torah? Haman did not happen till 800 years later. Of course, the answer is that the Torah is a nevuah. Kulo Torah, all of the Torah is a nevuah of the entire forthcoming history of the Jewish people. Everything in the Torah is a Maisa Avos Siman Labanim, in particular Sefer Breshis, according to the Ramban, that everything in Sefer Breshis is a Maisa Avos Siman Labanim. Whatever happens to the Avos happens to the Jewish people throughout history. And therefore, according to the Ramban and according to the Gemara, we can find and we can look for Haman's name in the Torah. Answers the Gemara, where is Haman's name? Look at Breshis, chapter 3, Pasuk Yud Aleph. When Adam and Chava ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, Hashem came into the garden and said to Adam, Hamin ha'etz asher tzivisicha levilti achol mimenu achalta. Did you eat from the tree of which I commanded you not to eat? Did you eat from that tree? And if you look at the word hamin, which means from which, did you eat from? Did you from the tree? Ha-min. Did you from is the same letters as Haman. Haman, Hamin. Did you eat from the tree? Asks Rav Moshe Shapira Zatzal, my Rebbe. Didn't Hashem know whether or not Adam ate from the tree? Of course he knew that Adam ate from the tree. So what does this mean that God is asking? Did you eat? Hamin, Haman, did you eat from the tree? So Rav Moshe answers, Hashem was saying to Adam, if you want to pretend that I'm not watching, if you want to believe that I'm not watching, then I'm not watching. I'll go along with you. In accordance with how much you believe God is watching, that's how much I'm going to be watching. If you want to believe that God's not watching you when you ate from the tree, you can believe what you want. That will create the reality of your relationship with God. It's up to you, Adam. If you want to believe I'm not watching, I'm not watching. You determine how much I am in your life. What does this have to do with Haman? Hamin. The name Hamin, the question Hamin, did you from, is the same word as Haman. So what's the intrinsic connection between Hamin and Haman? That question, Hamin, is the same essence of Haman. Haman stands for Amalek, and Amalek stands for the idea that everything is happenstance. Everything is by accident. Everything is randomness. There is no hashgacha, no divine providence. And the gematria of Amalek is safek, doubt. And therefore, the word Haman is found in the word Hamin, because the word Hamin means Haman. You don't want to believe that I'm watching? I'm not watching. Fine. In accordance with how much we believe in God, that's how much God will manifest himself in our lives. Which means an unbelievable idea that we talk about hashgacha and we talk about the Shechina, and the Shechina, divine feminine presence of God, means hashgacha. Shechina, the Shechina means God's presence in our lives. Hashgacha, God's supervision of our lives. Which means we determine the hashgacha. As much as we believe in hashgacha, that's how much God will appear in our lives. And says the Nefesh HaChaim, an unbelievable concept. You should get the sefer. It's also in English. The Nefesh HaChaim, by Rav Chaim Belozner, the Talmud of the Vilna Gaon. He says in Shar Aleph, Perek Zayin, says Rav Chaim the following: Ulazos lo levado nitna mishpat abchira. Therefore, for this reason alone, man was given the ordinance of free will. Lehatos atzmo ves haolamos le'eze tzad asher yechpos. To lean the world in any direction he wants. We have the power to lean the world in any direction we want. V'zeh she'amar David HaMelech alav hashalom, and that which King David said, Hashem tzil lecha al yad yaminecha. Hashem is your shadow on your right hand. What does this mean? Says the Reb Chaim. Hainu shekemo shenetias hatzel shel eze davar hu mechavein rak kefi tnuas also a davar le'an noite. In accordance with a shadow, if I move my hand this way, and you can see the shadow only appears in accordance with my hand. The shadow follows my hand. Just like the shadow follows the item which it is reflecting. Kain b'dinyon, so too in thought. Zeh kiviyachol, in accordance with Hashem, how he runs the world. Hu yisbarach shemai, so too Hashem, mischaber lintos olamos kefi tnuos netios maisei ha'adam lamata. Just like our hand is reflected by the shadow, so too Hashem reflects our actions. Which means that in accordance with our actions, Hashem is the shadow of our right hand. That means that what? That when I act in a certain way, Hashem reflects that action. If I believe, he believes, so to speak. Meaning, if I believe in Hashem, then he appears. If I don't believe in Hashem, he doesn't appear. He is my shadow. As we say, the shadow knows. The shadow, capital N, capital K. The shadow, Hashem knows. V'chein mefurash b'medrash, says Reb Chaim. Amar l'kadosh baruch hu l'Moshe. So did, listen to this unbelievable idea. So says Hashem to Moshe Rabbeinu. Lech emor lehem liYisrael ki shmi Ekia Asher Ekia. Tell the Jewish people, my name is Ekia Asher Ekia. Aleph and a Hey and a Yud and a Hey. I'm not going to say the name because that's the name of Hashem. Ekia, Aleph, Hey, and a Yud and a Hey. Ekia. And Hashem said, my name is Ekia Asher Ekia. I am who I am. Same idea, says Reb Chaim. Mahu Ekia. Just as he is Ekia, I am. Asher Ekia, I am who I am. Kishem she'ata hava imi. Ekia Asher Ekia means the same way you are Ekia, Asher Ekia. As you are, I will be. I am who I am means I am, and I will reflect you. I will be who you will be. Hashem says in essence, I am who I am. But Ekia Asher Ekia, I will be in accordance with how you will be. Kach Amar David Hashem, David HaMelech. Hashem tzilcha al yad yaminecha. Hashem is your shadow on your right hand. Ma'u Hashem tzilcha kitzilcha. Hashem is your shadow, like you are the hand, Hashem is the shadow. Listen to this. Matzilcha im ata mesachek loi hu mesachek lach. If you smile, Hashem will smile. Vim ata boicha, and if you cry, hu boche kenegdecha, he will cry opposite you. Vim ata mare lo panim zuamos, if you present to him depression, or musbaros, or sadness, achu nosin lechakach, he will reflect that to you. In accordance with how we act, we determine how much Hashem is in our lives. We determine Hashem's smiling or crying with us. He'll smile with us or cry with us. And says the Zohar, Hu oimed ki ha'aras panim milmata, we have a face below. As kach me'irim lo milmala. The face we have below is reflected by Hashem's kiviyachol face from above. As it says, Ivdu as Hashem b'simcha, ki samachta ha'adam mosheches simcha acheres elyona. If we serve Hashem b'simcha, then He will serve us. He will reflect to us simcha. That is the concept that Haman's name is found in the Torah. That is the end of Purim Challenge 1.